Welcome back to part 2 of academic writing dissection. In part 1, we looked at this example from Burns' article and identified some of the following things that match up with our guiding metaphor of GBS and academic writing. And in this part 2, I want to take a closer look at parallelism, which is the one thing we didn't identify in part 1. So I've chosen 3 sentences from the same excerpt, 3 great examples of parallel structure. So I want to take a look at this first one. First example says, post-secondary institutions are shaping students' worldviews, attitudes, leadership skills, participation levels in the community, decision-making, and interactions with ecosystems. So it makes sense that blah, blah, blah. And the sentence continues. But if we go back to the first part of this sentence, there's some really great parallel structure here. And I've outlined it in color blocking to help break this down. So in blue, we have the introduction of the sentence. And looking at the beginning or how a sentence begins, and then identifying what is parallel, looking at both of those helps us to really identify where the parallelism begins. And this is really important as you write, so you can look at the kind of structure you want, the way you want to say things, and then decide how you want to structure the first part and how you want to structure the actual part of the sentence that is parallel, and make sure that they both match. So in this example, worldviews is the first word in the parallel structure. So we've got worldviews in red, attitudes, leadership skills, participation levels, decision-making, and interactions. And all of those are parallel. Okay? Now, they're all nouns, and you'll notice that if they are count nouns, or countable nouns, they all have S's at the end. Decision-making is the one non-count noun, and so there's no S. But as you're writing, when you're using nouns, whether they're countable or not countable, you have to make sure that all of the word endings match as well. So in this example, the parallelism begins after the word students, and we've got this apostrophe at the end, meaning it's the worldviews and all of these things of multiple students, right? More than just one student. So the parallelism begins after students, and we have parallelism in noun form. So all of these words in red are nouns. All right. In the second example, she says, the following provides a theoretical model, the following provides a theoretical outline of the pedagogical model used in this study, reviews the methodology and some key results of the study, and concludes with a discussion of implications for the implementation of transformative sustainability pedagogy in higher education settings. Okay? Let's break it down into colors again. So the beginning of the sentence, we have the following, and right away we get to the parallel structure. So here we have provides a theoretical outline, reviews the methodology and some key results, and concludes with a discussion. And just like the first example, we've essentially got items in a list, but instead of nouns, we've got verbal phrases. So essentially we've got provides, reviews, and concludes. So they're all the same grammar structure. They're all the same format. But it's not just the beginning words that are parallel. You'll notice that each phrase has the same kind of structure. So we've got provides a, and then we've got a noun. And then we've got some additional information of the blah, blah, blah. In the next one, reviews the noun, another noun, and then additional information of the study. And the last one concludes with a, and then we've got a noun again with additional information of implications for the blah, 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 right? So in this example, the parallelism starts after the word following, and all the first words in the phrases that are parallel, they're all simple present verbs. So you'll notice that they all have the S at the end because they're regular simple present verbs. All right, in this last example, it's very short, but again, color-coded, we've got practical, place-based, and problem-oriented. Those are the three items in the list that are parallel. So in this sentence, parallelism begins after that is, and instead of nouns or verbal phrases, the parallelism in this example, it has to do with adjectives. So practical, place-based, problem-oriented, these are all adjectives. Place-based and problem-oriented are hyphenated terms, and you'll notice that there is no space on either side of the hyphen. So we've got the word hyphen word, comma, word hyphen word, and then the end of the sentence in this case. And again, we have the citation here. We've got in parentheses the last name of the author, comma, space, year of publication, and period at the end of that because this is APA style. And there are no page numbers listed because this is not a direct quote, it's an indirect quote. But you'll notice in the citation down here, oh, I just noticed a mistake of my own. So what's missing here is the other side of the parentheses, but there's the author's last name, comma, space, year of publication, comma, page number, so P, period, space, and then the specific page that this comes from in the article. And there you have it. We're at the end of our dissection for this week. I hope that this was helpful to you in understanding some of some of the features of this guiding metaphor, some of the things that I really want you to pay attention to in this guiding metaphor, as well as some local issues in writing to pay attention to. I encourage you to continue as you read the materials in the class and you read other things outside of class. I encourage you to see what you can identify in the things that you read, what you can identify in terms of organization or starting point or signal phrases or any of these global issues in writing and local issues as well. So happy reading, happy writing, and happy dissection.